Welcome to FundMyComic, Meet the Creators. Uh, this is going to be a series where we get to meet different creators that are now on FMC. And today we have from Virtue Signal NPC, we have Mr. William Delabout. Hi,
Hello.
William.
Hello. Well, Virtue Signal NPC is the name of the game. Well, it's the expansion to the game.
Okay. And that's the name of the campaign that's currently on
Yes.
FMC. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
About myself, well, I am American. I'm from Utah. Um, I was a graphic designer for a very long time, um, but now I mostly make games, and I guess we're going to talk about why we do that later. Why that happened later. Um, Gosh, what's to say? Well,
Whatever you want to share. If you don't want to share anymore, that's no problem.
oh no, it's just there's so many things. Put the kitty down. I live very close to Wuhan, China.
Okay, near that lab.
Well, the city. Yes, near the lab.
Okay.
I think I got COVID before any other American did. It's
Ah,
possible.
okay. So you've been living in China for quite a while now?
Well, yeah. Well, now I can't leave because I won't take the inoculation, so I can't get on a plane. So I can stay here forever.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, that sounds like a totally full story right there in that. Uh,
I guess so.
why don't you tell us about your comic and art influences?
Well, I make board games.
Hmm.
I have never done a comic yet. People have been started asking. Um, Here's a mock-up of well, not a mock-up, but a sample of the most recent one. I changed the name. It used to be People's Republic, and now it's NPC. That'll
Okay.
go over better. Um, what to say? It has been described by others as like Twitter the game. The objective is yeah. Well, you put yourself in the role of like a social justice activist, and you
Hmm.
compete against the other social justice activists for attention and clout. And yes, you accuse people of things, and this diminishes their influence. But then you virtue signal to restore your liberal piety, I suppose you could say.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
satire.
yeah. How did this idea come about?
Um, Gosh, it was an idea I had kicking around for like years and years. Like this is like a game, right? This is totally like, cynically, like from an outside perspective,
Hmm.
nobody cares about any of these issues. That it's
No,
just one
no, it's
up,
all phony.
right?
Yeah.
They're just competing with each other for clout and space and attention. And like this is so much like a game. And wouldn't it be interesting, right? I'll just break it down to like its core essentials, really, really cynically, right? Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Okay. And your company, Incel Riot
Yes.
Studios. Do you have a story behind that? Its
Behind the
creation?
name,
Yeah.
um, well, the company didn't have a name when I released my first game, which just went out under my own name. And then people said, well, why don't you do an expansion? This is unfair. You're being unfair. You need to attack the right wing too. Like that's never been done before, right?
Yeah. Oh
Nobody
no.
ever attacks the right wing. So like, but
No,
okay,
no
maybe
one
I
ever
can make
gets
that. Yeah,
no one ever gets upset attacking the right wing. It's
that's right.
only the left.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's like people do it so often. It's so common that people just accept it as normal. Wait, you mean that's not true? Like, no. But so I thought about it. I was like, well, maybe I could do it in an interesting way, right? So like do a satire on like what the mainstream perception of the right wing is, right? Like uh, trolls who hack computers or whatever, and I'll do it like that. And then I had the name for the game was Incel Riot, which I thought was hilarious. And somebody said, that's such a good name. You should just name your company that. I'm like, you know what, you're right. Okay, we'll call the name of my company Incel Riot, and I'll pick a different name for the expansion.
It also works out good. IRS and so Riot Studios.
Yes.
So
yes. People, oh no, it's the IRS in disguise. I'm trying to get my stuff.
So I am not an artist, but a lot of the fellows over at FMC are. In fact, they're comic producers themselves, most of them.
Oh, wow.
So this type of art, is this vector?
Yes. I am trained as a graphic designer. I've been a graphic designer most of my life, did logos and branding and websites and all that stuff. And I was compelled to change careers.
Okay.
Recently.
All right.
Yes, it's all vector. It's all vector.
It's all vector art. Okay.
Yeah.
And from the characters that are inside of Virtue Signal, what is the program that you're using?
Oh, Adobe Illustrator mode mainly. I should get off it and start using Affinity Designer or something. I'm just too lazy. I've tried a couple times. It's just too much work, and I'm too old.
It is different, isn't it? Yeah, it's hard to go from the little changes you have to make. All right, so why don't we go ahead and open up the website itself? I'll share the screen here.
Okay.
And then we'll start with the videos, but I just want to go over some of the design also.
Oh, thank you.
So let's see here. Okay, we're up and running. So I just want to let everyone know the campaign is called Virtue Signal NPC, but you can also get the base game called Virtue Signal the Game. Right. So NPC is the expansion, a 216 card expansion that you can get once you have a game.
Yes.
All right. So let's start with, I want to start with the Virtue Signal the Game, the video.
White supremacy, neo-fascism, Nazi clowns, milk. Now more than ever it is important to remember the true meaning of social justice. Your life might just depend on it.
If you've seen Scrooged.
Virtue Signal is a card game that parodies left-wing social justice activism. Here's how it works. In Virtue Signal, everyone roleplays as a different social justice warrior archetype. The base deck has 8, and each character has his own personality and unique activist superpower. The object of the game then is to attract followers to your character's cause, whatever that is. Followers attached to the character cards similar to dominoes, and the first warrior to have 15 followers is the winner. Pretty simple. Social justice activism is a contact sport though, and things are going to get rough. While you're trying to build your coalition up, all the other players are trying to stop you or even tear it down. The most common way is by accusing you of microaggressions. A microaggression is a bizarre accusation against your liberal person. Investigations into your past, slips of the tongue, problematic hand gestures, or more than likely something that makes no bloody sense at all. When a microaggression is played against you, it besmirches your progressive reputation and makes it harder for your coalition to grow. Enough accusations and your growth can be stopped entirely. Just as in real life, or unreal life if you prefer, your wounded liberal reputation can be fixed through virtue signaling. A virtue signal is an empty ritual of progressive piety that makes you seem like a really good person, which probably doesn't help anyone or accomplish anything at all. The right kind of virtue signal removes the microaggression and lets you grow again. For example, if someone accuses you of cultural appropriation, you can signal your way out of clown jail by wearing the keffiyeh you bought in Palestine and wishing death by fire on the great Satan. Makes sense, right? Of course not, and that's the whole point. But wait, I can hear you thinking, how can you simulate what it's like to be a social justice activist when the rules of social justice activism are changing constantly? This game sucks, reported for hate speech. Well, it just so happens that we already thought of that, smartass, which brings us to plots. Plots are global modifiers that change the rules of the game. Some favor particular groups, some favor certain players, some bring the game to a halt, and others bring down fiery Armageddon. And then there's also one that returns the game state to normal, if that's what you're into. Be gone, plot! There are also a variety of special cards with unique effects, such as stealing followers from someone's coalition, or forcing them to get a job, or triggering them so badly that they run away from the game crying. These are just examples. Some are even worse. Of course, all these emotional scars can be avoided if you remember to play your safe space card in crayons and a juice box, you big baby. And that's pretty much it. The game is strategic and competitive, and by the end, you and your friends will certainly be traumatized for the rest of your pointless lives.
This is such a good video.
Thank you.
Such a good video. I'm gonna stop it on this.
Yeah, stop it here.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
goes on.
uh, are you responsible for the video or?
Oh yeah, I made everything.
Wow.
I wrote the cards.
Okay.
I drew the cards. I printed it. I made the video. I did everything.
Jeez. Okay. The talent is just off the wall here.
Thank you so much.
And then let me go ahead and let's. So that's the base game. Let's go look at Virtue Signal NPC.
Okay,
the
this is much
expansion.
faster.
Yes, and also very funny.
Thank you.
Bang bang. Awesome. Okay, and let's go ahead and go over just the basics of the game. But also, I just want to talk about the design. So,
Okay.
so you have the base game, and you could play as one of 12 SJWs, basically, right?
Yeah. Well, 14. I'm going to add some.
Oh yes, 14 with
Yeah.
the NPC
Yeah.
expansion.
I need
Okay,
to add a couple more. I don't have the artwork ready yet.
and this is where I get such a kick out of the design. Again, vector graphics, but the touches and the feel for these characters that I recognize many of them, like Miss Problem Glasses.
Sure.
This is a London activist that was going after a street preacher, wasn't it? Or am I
I think
mistaken?
so. Her
Yeah,
name is I forgot her name.
yeah. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter, but she's famous for glaring at these people instead of just walking past them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorites, Captain Fedora.
Yeah.
Uh, Again, the design aesthetic you have here, the line, it's just a line, but that smirk,
Yeah.
it just makes me laugh. Somebody who's probably not done anything his whole life, but if he can screw somebody over and get him in trouble, it's made his life. The brood matriarch, just so many here that are just hilarious. This Marxist
Yeah,
academic,
that's Cornel West. He's running for president this year.
exactly. Okay.
Yep.
The Twiggy Wiccan, the journalist. For
Yeah.
some reason, I get it like a Chelsea Clinton vibe, but
That's Taylor Lorenz. I thought it's
Taylor,
not
okay.
obvious enough. I should make
Okay,
it more obvious.
all right. And then, of course, Fang Fang, the super
Yeah.
spy, Chinese super spy.
I'm playing the super spy.
uh, what are your inspirations to come up with this, or how do you come up with these characters?
Gosh, well, some of them like just present themselves to you. Some of them are suggestions, right?
Mhm.
I guess I try to take and not to be like specific people, but like to group them into like archetypes, broad archetypes.
Mhm.
I used to hang out in left-wing circles a lot, so I met like many examples of all of these people. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And let's see, the object of the game is to assemble a coalition of NPC followers. And so even the simple cards, the white cards, if you read some of them, like here's one, Comet Ping Pong.
Yeah, coming from
So, you know, so even something simple like this is can just be hilarious. And then you have to stop other activists. You're trying to get up to what, 15 cards basically? Is
Yes,
that how?
race to 15. Mm-hmm.
as if anybody in the SJW world ever wins, you know.
That's
So,
true.
so unlike the real
Otherwise, it's not a
world,
game. You have
yeah,
to win.
yes. So you can stop other activists by accusing them of microaggressions. Of course, Pepe the Frog is, and Trump, and of course Milk, because
Mm-hmm.
how dare white people can drink milk while so much of the world is
Yeah.
lactose intolerant.
That particular card drives like Antifa nuts because there's like so many like coded little things in there. But that's the joke, right? That you think
Exactly.
it's racist, but it's not. So just like pack all this racist stuff in there.
And then we go to, let's see, you can use the microaggression. So here's the Pepe the Frog card blocking this person's growth. And then finally, you can use microaggressions to remove are removed by virtue signaling. So, there's layer upon layer in this game, and just you obviously have to be up on some politics.
You kind
So
of do,
yeah,
unfortunately. So there's many inside jokes.
yeah,
Probably
but
too many.
just discovering them is probably half the fun. And
Yes.
again, just talking about the design, I think this a lot of people the triggered card down here, it's just the perfect signal. It- this person's gonna blow over something stupid, right? Every little fact, like the voice of the voiceless. Of course, it's
That turned into a meme after I did that. I didn't copy it.
really.
I
Oh,
did
okay,
it first. I did
okay,
it first.
okay. Because of course the white liberal has to
Mhm.
speak for the downtrodden minority,
Yes.
to bring them out. Of course.
Yes. You have
And
to.
then
You have to.
there's
You have to
go ahead.
farm their. You have to farm their misery. Otherwise, there's no place for you.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
You have to
Safe
stand
space.
on top of a pile of brown bodies. So you have to keep them oppressed so you can liberate them.
Exactly, exactly. And plots temporarily alter the game state. So the
Yes.
happening,
You remember that? That was a long time ago.
it's just really, really hilarious. And then there's the deplorables. Let's go ahead and we'll play the video for that.
Oh, really? Okay. That's a long
Yeah,
one.
let's show everybody as much as we can here. Let's see. Am I going right past it? Yeah,
It's
right
linked
there.
right there. Uh-huh.
Right there. Let me go to the beginning.
Fine. What am I supposed to say here? Virtue Signal's a bad game, and you get back that you're a bad
That's me.
person. Like, I heard it's all stolen, and the whole thing's like
This
a
is great.
scam and stuff. Also, it's cringe and it's boring, and I hate it, but also I don't care. Like, I'm not even mad at all. Thanks, capitalism. Anyway, if the original was bad, the expansion's like 100. Why can't you make positive things? Like, for me, it's all about being positive and putting that energy on, like,
She got hacked.
Yeah.
That's what that's supposed to
Virtue
be.
Signal Deplorables is the first major expansion
They're in a
of the
basket,
Virtue
see?
Signal game that released in 2019. Where the original game picks mainly on the right, the left, Deplorable satirizes the more colorful personalities on the so-called political right. Dangerous incels, psychotic trolls, the fundamentalist zombie rednecks of the cursed earth, and others we completely made up. As the deplorable player, you are a parasite on the taint of humanity, and you exist only to make regular people miserable. Invade their personal spaces with your toxic minions, stalk them and get their docs, pull weird pranks that serve no purpose, and wreak havoc purely for your own sick entertainment. Are you in reality a Russian bot? Unclear, but we assume that you are.
That
Of
aged
course, the
well.
more irritating you become, the more likely you are to incur the wrath of the banhammer, get simped by some random ethot, or get deplatformed entirely.
Of course.
Justice inevitably comes to all.
So it's like, be the change, right? So don't be the hatred and the judgment. We can evolve as souls. The world is in pain. Did that answer the question? I forgot the question.
You channeled that very well.
Thank you.
And again, I want to go back. Let's see. Hopefully, I'm not making everybody dizzy. Let's see. Like just your design here, the traditional trad waifu.
Yeah, the
And she
fancy
even
trad
has,
guys.
she even has the her own tattoo here. It's just,
Yeah, that's the point.
yeah, it's just
Mhm.
nice touches like that in this type of art design. It's just, it's it's just fascinating to see somebody this good and what they can do. So let's see, and we have artifacts,
Mhm.
permanent modifiers, of course, a pile of conveniently placed stack of bricks, and the Trump balloon. Just, oh
Baby
man.
Trump balloon.
uh, and inside Virtue Signal NPC, here are some more of the character cards. I like the Patriot pillow. That's great.
Yeah, good old Mike. Good old Mike Lindell.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go over the different rewards.
Okay.
Here's $1 reward you can give, but I think this is maybe one of the most important rewards that you have. I mean, because you got to be careful, you don't want to get into a game and have somebody start reading. So
That's true.
you have a $9 wish plus shipping tabletop
Uh-huh.
gaming consent forms. You get 32 of these forms in this package, and this is very important because you want to identify the sensitive players in advance, and you want to stop the
Yes.
whining
Mm-hmm.
because no one can whine more painfully than somebody that gets triggered by this game.
Yes, that's right. You need to flush them out in advance.
So just excellent, this idea here. So, and then the next thing is, oops, all Greta's. So
Yes.
this is 216 identical Greta
Yes.
cards. Am I correct?
Yeah, yeah. Greta was I
Greta
added her
Thunberg.
in the celebrity NPC pack way back when. And like for April Fool's Day or something, I mocked up a box that said oops all Greta's. And people say I want that. I'm like, why? Why do you want that?
They're all identical. So,
Yes, it's like 216 identical cards. Why do you want that?
but it's also a good idea because you can hand them out, and and depending on how a person reacts, you may not want to play the game. If they get down and they start worshiping the card, you may have a
Yeah.
problematic person.
Yeah. I think I have a bunch of followers who are just really weird guys. God bless them.
I
Gotta
mean,
have it.
that's what's so fun about this is there's so much silliness in it. It's fun, and then you also have this tier for Virtue Signal the game.
Yeah, I
So
had to. Uh-huh.
yes, I'm glad
For
you
new
did.
people.
Exactly. So if you don't have the game, purchase this first, and
Hmm.
then you can get everything else, and we'll keep on going down. The deplorables, and we just looked at that. I noticed how the implorables to me all look cool. You know, that's what I
Yeah,
like.
well, most of them. There's a couple who
Yeah,
don't.
yeah. And then finally, Virtue Signal NPC, which is an
Yeah.
expansion of
Yes.
216 extra cards.
Hmm.
And we have the Bollinger tier, which gives you three packs.
Yes.
Three packs.
Yeah. Well, that's for one guy, and his name is Bollinger. He said, "I want to order 3," and like FundMyComic doesn't allow you to select multiples. Like, okay. He begged me. He's like, okay, I'll put up another tier just for you, and I'll name it after you. He's like, all
And
right.
sure enough, there's one backer.
Yep. There he is.
And lastly, most importantly, is for $88 plus shipping is all the things. And
So
this
many
is what you
things.
get with everything. Virtual Signal the game, Virtual Signal deplorables, Virtual Signal NPC, oops, all Greta's, problematic card pack, celebrity NPC pack, and tabletop consent forms. You got to have all of these.
Gotta
That's
have it
just
all.
awesome.
Still, though, that's like the cost of like a AAA video game. So I don't know. Choose
Uh,
wisely, I suppose.
I think the value
It's
is
a whole lot
definitely,
of stuff.
yes, exactly. Is there anything else you'd like to add about the campaign?
I just realized I didn't tell people what the celebrity NPC pack and the problematic card back were.
Go ahead.
Oh, for the very first campaign, the one that was on Kickstarter for a while, like some of the cards were too upsetting, I suppose. Like made references to really terrible stuff. So I peeled that off and made it an expansion. Like, and then the next one came around and like, or is there going to be add-ons? Like, I don't know. Okay, so I did the Celebrity NPC pack, which is like they're all famous people. And Greta was one of them. She never stops being popular. People respond really well to her.
Okay, well, this has just been like one of the funnest campaigns I've seen on FundMyComic, and so it's been awesome to be able to chat with you and to be able to showcase your campaign. So, thank you so much, William.
You're welcome.